In this video, we're going to talk about the unsolved Dale City triple homicide. The first victim that we're going to go over is Karen Scarborough, 17. On June 26, 1978, Karen Scarborough, 17, was getting ready for her first day at a job she just got hired at. Karen's family had stated that she was excited to start this new job in Dale City, Virginia. Before work, she couldn't decide what to wear. Karen ended up choosing a knee-length black flower dress. Karen had a lot of nerves about her first day. Anybody would on their first day of work. Her older sister Janet said that her brown eyes were magnified by a large pair of eyeglasses. She hated wearing eyeglasses, which she didn't want to wear, but she did anyway. Karen's mom dropped her off at work in Dale City, Virginia at a trailer that a housing development company used as an office. Around lunchtime, Karen was dropped off a sandwich for her to eat for lunch. Later in the day, Joan Scarborough, Karen's mother, came to pick her up. She waited a bit outside the trailer to wait for Karen to get off. Suddenly, a man came out of the trailer and seen Joan sitting out in her car. That's when Joan, Karen's mother, found out what happened to her daughter and two other women that day. Karen's mom worked as a nurse's aide at Quantico Naval Hospital, so Joan ran into the trailer to see if she could help keep her daughter and the two other women alive. All three were shot in the back of the head. Joan took everyone's pulse and noticed her daughter Karen still had one, but her pulse was weak. Before the paramedics could arrive, Karen and the other two women died. Not long before this incident happened, Karen graduated high school. She had received $300 in gifts, wanted to use that money that she received for graduating to start saving for a car. From what the family have said, she heard about this new job in Dale City from a friend that works for the company Karen eventually got hired at. She would have been making $3.50 an hour. This friend's name is Leonard Hardy Bowling. The Scarboroughs had mentioned that Karen didn't have many friends, so after she died, there wasn't many phone calls from friends. According to Karen's father, she was Little Miss Independent. One day she came home and told me the kids were calling her names. They called her Isis and Wonder Woman. She loved people and animals. Karen's sister, that was a bit older, Janet Scarborough, had stated she wanted to marry a millionaire. She wanted to be a stewardess to travel. Karen was the baby. She always tried to please my parents. She was so pretty. She studied so hard. I was so goddamn jealous of her. She had a gorgeous wardrobe, always had to be perfectly dressed. She hardly ever wore jeans. Seems like Karen's beauty and clean appearance may be the reason to blame for how some saw Karen as a person. From these statements made by her older sister Janet, one night I found her crying in her room. She was so afraid to make friends. People thought she was snooty, but she wasn't. She lived inside a shell. Karen seemed like she was always keeping herself busy, so there wasn't much time to date boys. Janet has also said, I think she only went out with 3 boys the whole time we lived here. Karen's last boyfriend before she was killed was Leonard Hardy Bowling, the friend who got her the job. Leonard Bowling met was because her dad answered an ad in a newspaper to get a Siberian Husky. Bowling eventually came to the Scarborough's house with the dog. That's when Karen and Leonard locked eyes. Janet said he took one look at Karen and fell madly in love. Karen went out with Bowling a few dates, but nothing came of it though. It's like the relationship never blossomed into more than just friends. Janet said, I think she snubbed him. I think boys bored her to death. Some things her family said that Karen liked was the Bee Gees rock group, her dog Pola. Also, she considered her room, which was bright yellow, as her sanctuary. Sharon Lake and her husband Colin K. Lake had purchased a house in the area in Dale City. They moved from Louisiana to Dale City not too long before Sharon, her friend Debra, and Karen were killed. Sharon Lake was an elementary school teacher. She taught first graders. When her and her husband moved to Dale City, she got a job at the Occoquan Elementary School. Principal at Occoquan Elementary, Richard Gasly, said this about Sharon Lake. exceptional first grade teacher who devoted herself both to the children and their parents. Debra Frank, she worked for a government consulting firm that was located in McLean, Virginia. For this firm, Debra did a variety of tasks, compiling reports, handling inter-office communications. One thing Debra did not do was handle classified government documents. Two women, Sharon and Debra, met was because their husbands are friends and they work at the Pentagon together in the Air Force Data Services Center. Lake is a captain working as a computer program analyst, and Frank is a civilian mathematician. There could be possible witnesses that the police are looking to speak with. These people were in the area and the time when the shootings happened. The description is as followed. A man around 45 years old driving a red Volkswagen that had Maryland license plates. There were 3 women in the car with the men. The women are not the murder victims. A few theories have sprung up over the last 40 years since the police don't know what happened that led to the Dale City triple homicide. They believe that the suspect entered the trailer, then made the 3 victims, Karen, Sharon, and Debra, to lay on the floor before shooting and killing them. The other theory is Sharon and Debra could have walked in the trailer, seeing someone killing Sharon or burglarizing the trailer, then decided to kill them because they were witnesses. The case is still unsolved to this day. If you have any information, call the cold case unit at 703-792-7279 or email at policedept@pwcgov.org.